Well, that was fun last night, wasn't it? The Carabao Cup first round happened, and of course it ended Grimsby3-1, Shrewsbury Town 1. Let me just say that again. Grimsby3-1, Shrewsbury Town 1. It was dominant again, really, at home for the Mariners. Never really in doubt, and that's not, that's not an understatement. I don't think it was ever really in doubt. The Mariners came into this obviously on the back of the 3-3 draw against Harrogate at the weekend. Shrewsbury were coming into the game after a Tonkin 4-0 loss to Tranmere, obviously last weekend. So they were looking for a result desperately for them, while we were trying to keep our positive start to the season beginning, and at the minute free-flowing with goals. And this was the team that started. There were changes from obviously from the weekend, a few first-time debuts, and a good mix of players really. The team that was chosen for the Mariners was Christy Pym in goal. I think to me that shows you how serious in one regard that Artel was taking this. Terrell Warren, Sam Lavelle came in for his first team debut. Doug Tharm and Rhys Staunton on the right hand side. Geza Toure just in front of the back four, with Malazor on the left, Jamie Walker and Evan Curry in the middle, with Dara Burns on the right, and Cam Gardner going through the middle up top. And really it was sort of fluent play, sort of there was so many good sort of passages of play, and we were hounding Shrewsbury every single time Shrewsbury got the ball. Our pressing was absolutely immense. We were making it so difficult for Shrewsbury to get out, and we've got, it looks like this year we're playing with a very high press, trying to win the ball up higher up the field, which ironically led to our first goal, which was a bit of a cross-field ball played by Shrewsbury, but didn't quite make the player, and Geza charged in like a bull really to get to there, and played a beautiful ball to Justin Malazor to really, I would say smash it in, but he sort of glided it in. A beautiful strike into the corner, into the top left-hand corner from where I was looking. And Malazor was, it was a beautiful finish, and a guy that when we first signed him, I always said that this guy's a good signing. Hopefully people will start seeing that more and more. But what a cracking finish for Justin to get the first goal in the cup. I'm a bit surprised with how fluent our goals have been right now, and again there was a penalty given as well in the first half. Looking at it, I can see why the referee gave it. I also understand why Michael Appleton, Shrewsbury's manager, was more against it. Letter of the law, Artel was saying, but it was doing more dominant play, and sort of playing within about 25-30 yards of the box really whilst causing it. And we took a shot. I think it was Toure that actually took the shot, and it came sort of carrying off players, and it played against his hand. It wasn't, there was not much of a gap, so I can kind of understand that. The Shrewsbury player was turning his body, but his hand was up. His hands are up, and I mean the thing is you know, I think we still need clarity as to what handball is. But again, I will always say this: you leave the opportunity for the referee to give it. What I'd say to players is don't give the referee the chance to do that. Take that in your rib gate. I know it would be it would come a bit keen, as we say around Nottinghamshire and that, you know, it would be a bit keen, but don't put your hand in the air. Then you've got less chance of it being given, and I say that for our lot as well, you know. With the penalty we gave away at Harrogate, you give the referees a chance to give it. So don't do that. Don't give a chance to give it. You know, I know you've got to protect yourselves, but I think it was. I think it was a penalty, considering when I watched his turn and his hand was up. And don't tell me you have to have your hand up when you're turning away from yourself. His hand was up. So it was a penalty, and Jamie Walker stepped up for that first penalty. And there seemed to be a bit of, I think Justin and Jamie and Ev, I think, were on and ahhing about who to take it. In the end, they settled on Jamie Walker. He didn't seem confident. He did not catch that at all. It was a poor penalty, in truth. Good save by their keeper, though. I think the keeper will be disappointed that he didn't hold it. But Justin came running in, but the defender just cleared it, and you know, just kept on with the dominance for the first half. We kept getting the ball out wide for Staunton. I thought he had a fantastic game. Terrell Warren did great in that first half. Sam Lavelle was solid in that first half, always not being afraid to put the bodies on, and the closing down was delightful by Town so far this season. Been absolutely delightful. But obviously the bit that was really, really disappointing, I think Torrey was player of the first half, I think. Darrell Burns was as well. He played some great tight passing between him, Corey and Walker, and including Gardner in that. It was a delight to watch the first half. The only thing that was disappointing is that we were only 1 up at the break, when really we could have been 2 or 3 up, just with the way of playing. So the Mariners went in 1-0 up after half time, and came back out, and there was a change at half time. It happened to be Harvey Rogers that came in for Sam Lavelle, which I thought was a very smart substitution, due to Sam not long joining us, only about a week or so. Obviously didn't play on Saturday and got his first 45 minutes for the club, and like I said, played very solid in that first half. And then, like I said, Harvey Rogers came on right at the start of the second half, and it was more of the same, really. Good movement down the flanks. When we played it across the park, everything had intent to it. Some great passes by Tory. Terrell Warren was fantastic. Speaking of Terrell Warren, he was involved in the second goal. Our wing backs are at the minute absolutely they're on point, and Terrell was able to pick up a nice pass. I think it was played over by Walker, or passed by Walker, and he was able to go to the byline. He was able to cross it through, and Cam was at the near post to pretty much just slot it in for 2-0, and that was pretty much, you could say, game over really, because even though they had a couple of former Mariners players, Shrewsbury did, in Toto Nsiala and the loney George Lloyd, and of course a good player in Sam Clucas, you wouldn't think it. We were absolutely sheer dominant. The defence was not great. We did have a header just before the second goal, right at the start of the half, where Terrell Warren had an early header, and credit to him, the keeper, it was straight down his throat, but he tipped it over the bar. But I think Terrell was probably the best player of the second half, really, but then again, so was Reese. There was no one that did bad, and it was more dominant. Some great, again, passing plays, the patterns. I almost called it looking at Buckley ball, or a version of Buckley ball, of how we sort of played in the early days of Buckley. Even the time, I mean, I was only just born when Alan took over the club, so I've been able to see highlights, and it reminds me a lot of that period of time of Alan's first spell here. We're trying to get the sort of pattern to play in the partnerships and relationships and things like that. I think it was just it was an absolute delight. The thing that was frustrating again is that we weren't more clinical, but Shrewsbury did pull a goal back out of, I would say, really absolutely nothing. I'd say it was a slight miss-hit by Sang. He kind of got it at the edge of the box and somehow looped it over, and I think it took Pim by surprise. It took me by surprise. I think it took everybody by surprise. We thought it was going to go over the bar, but it ended up. It definitely wasn't a clean hit, and it ended up going over Pim's head. Really, they didn't deserve that goal when they got it, but they got it. And Mel Benning was given the assist for that. But it was, I wouldn't say frustrating. It was just like, we conceded a goal, damn it, and then we ended up just sort of going back to the dominance again. And obviously then, after about 75 minutes or so on, then 3 more subs came on the 78th and 79th minute. James Cabier, Kevin Green came on for Jamie Walker, and Darryl Burns was replaced by Academy graduate Henry Brown, who is doing really well himself. Everyone's doing well at the minute. I just feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again, really. And again, there was sort of more dominance. Again, the passage of plays were just an absolute delight to watch. And we got another penalty on right at the end of the game. Terrell Warren was sort of shoulder barged to the ground, really. The referee, what I would say, whether you agree with his decisions, he was decisive. He made a decision and stuck to it, whether it was right and it was wrong, and I have to admire that in a referee. You don't see that a lot these days. He was decisive. Whether he was right, whether that one he was right. It was a penalty, but again, we should have had 2 or 3 goals even after our second and didn't. And this time, Jay stepped up for the penalty after coming on and, sort of slotted it, glided it sort of past the goalkeeper for third. And it was just a delight to be there to watch. I had to reverse to avoid some of the light rainfall while in the last 20 minutes. But overall, I've never seen Town so fluid, and this was classed as technically our second string. And like I said, we don't want to get carried away too much because, like I say, it's only the first couple of weeks of the season. But you look at everybody on that pitch, no one put a foot wrong. I think Justin Amalazor got the man of the match. From an attacking sense, I'd have probably looked to give it to Tory, because I think what Tory did was, what you say is the hard graft. Tory had a shot in the first half which the goalkeeper had to save as well, and it's hard to go through it all because it was all just so good. If you look at a few stats from the game, Grimsby had 55% possession to Shrewsbury's 44, 18 shots in total for the Mariners, only 8 for Shrewsbury, 6 on target and 3 on target for Shrewsbury. That's just saying you that for half the shots on target went in. If the other ones had gone in, we probably could have won by 5 or 6, really. We were that good. Only 3 on target for Shrewsbury. If you look at the total touches, this is what is making us so dangerous at the minute. The touches in the opposition box, 35. That is a lot for 90 minutes worth of football, really. And only 11 for the Shrews. 2 saves were made by Christy Pym, and good saves there were too. There was a great save near the end that was it was a beautiful ball in by the Shrewsbury player, and it was sort of right down his throat, and the way he was just able to push it away. It was a beautiful save by Christy Pym. That was one of the saves. Obviously their goalkeeper had to make 3. Shrewsbury had to make 14 fouls to Town's 9, and 10 corners. 10 corners to Shrewsbury's 3. That is kind of telling you that, you know, we meant business, and that the shots in general, like I said, 18. The total passes during the game, Town made 392 total passes, and the accurate passes were 310. Only 224 for Shrewsbury, 325 total passes for them. Forward passes, out of the 392, Town, this is a great stat, this. 168 of those passes were forward ones. Only 69 were backwards. Successful final third passes, 75. Total crosses in general, 32. It's just showing you where we sort of are. And defensively, if you look at stats for that, we didn't get a yellow card defensively. 9 fouls committed to Shrewsbury's 14. 1 tackles, 12 to 10. Total tackles, obviously because they were defending a lot more, Shrewsbury won that 20. We only got 16. We only made 16. And total clearances, 23 to 30. I mean, just reading those stats there, you're thinking, how did Town not win more? How did they not do more? And it's an absolute pleasure to watch them do that. And I'm pleased for Justin. I really am, because I really was buzzing when we signed Justin Amalazor, and I knew exactly if you can get the best out of him, what sort of player that we'd be getting from Justin. So overall, guys, a fantastic performance for the Mariners, and we're in the hat for the Carabao Cup second round in the North section. Could we get Manchester United? Who knows? We'll find out this evening, just before the TV game, the Birmingham Sheffield United game, which is on ITV4. The draw will take place just prior to that. So around about 7:10 or so, that will take place, and we'll find out who the Mariners draw in round 2 of the Carabao Cup. And it's good to start a little bit of a cup run because, you know, more the merrier, more exposure for the club, more finances for the club. You can never go wrong with any of that. If you were at Blundell Park on last night, do let me know what you guys thought. It was lovely to see a good friend of mine, Dave Payne and Ellie. Dave Payne and his wife Ellie, beautiful couple. It was great to see them, and whilst I was eating my hot dog, I had to be leaning more to the left due to the fact that, just off topic, all the crispy onions were going on to me, but it was fantastic. It was great to speak to a couple of you from there. A good crowd really for a first round League Cup game, 3,156. I think it's a better start than any. So it was just lovely. If you went to that game, what exactly did you think of it? Who was your man of the match? Excuse me, I got an itch there. Who was your man of the match? What did you make of it? And how confident are you, and how pleased are you with what's happening so far? There's still a couple of weeks of the window, and one thing I will say just now, and I'll do this during the review of the transfer window afterwards. I've never known a summer like this. A summer of no trialists, a summer of no loans so far. There will be a couple, obviously, but to know that most of the signings that we've actually made, well, all the signings are permanent, and what is great is that they are all contracted to Grimsby Town. We're not, it just shows how well prepared that David Artell and the Jamestown Analytics and the recruitment team were. It just sort of shows you how well prepared that we were for the summer. And I think Jay's is becoming an absolute fan favourite right now. But I also think that Justin will become that, because Justin, like I say, is my signing of the summer, but for maybe different reasons than what people think. Watching him as a young lad when he played at Barnet, and knowing what kind of player that we're getting with that, for me, I was pleased that he got man of the match. But now, guys, let me know what you think, and who would you like in the second round of the Carabao Cup, the second round of the League Cup. Let me know down below your thoughts on that and all the other stuff. Any news that breaks out over the week, I'll keep you updated with it. I'll also do a tie-up at the end of the week as well. But I will also be back with a preview for Newport, which happens on Saturday. I'll be back with that before Saturday and let you know my thoughts heading into that one. So guys, that's it for me for now. Like, share, subscribe and comment, and I'll be back with the preview for Newport very, very soon. In the meantime, guys, like, share, subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys obviously at Blundell Park on Saturday, but I'll see you guys in the review for the game at the weekend. Leave your comments down below, everything League Cup, and I will see you guys soon. Up the Mariners, I can't believe at the moment what I'm seeing, but I'm loving it. I'll see you guys soon. It's David Artell's Black and White Army. Can you believe it? I can't believe I'm saying that, because I'm one of the biggest critics of David Artell. But hey, it's proven me wrong, and guess what, guys? I don't mind being proven wrong. Prove me wrong, I'm all good for that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ra for now. Bye-bye.